Okay, what's up, guys? It's Ricky here, and we are live. We are live, Machana. We are live, and we are today. Later on, we're going to start the subject of the parables, which we got into interest on last week. Last week, I was not able to do the live stream because Dimamzo had the COVID. And so bless her heart, she is fine, just like I stated. And so we're going to be talking about the parables later on. There is one subject I'm going to address, 10 minutes, then you guys can start calling in, okay? And so let me put it up, call in link. And copy and paste. Okay, so first we're going to get into the worship that's going on the other side of the world. Guys, how do you what you think of the logo here? I've redesigned it. I'll tell you the thinking process behind it. I think at first I was gonna get someone else to do it, but then I did kind of have ideas around which I don't think might have translated well. And so yeah. Okay, let me pin the what you call it. What you call. Let me pin the comment for all right, it's this one right here and pin the calling link comment. Okay, so that's pinned. Today we look dark. It's like happening. Okay. I just look awesome. I've always told you guys there's nothing to this set. Let me just show you. It's a background. I have a light over my head. That's a red head. And then I have the light with a soft box here. That's held by clamps from, what is it? I think Crash Crusaders or something like that. Then I have a cell phone here, J4. Nothing high quality, nothing. You don't have to kill yourself. You have to kill yourself. And then a microphone, that's it. So that light allows you to have this. If you put it off, you see, I fall into the background. But then when you just put it on just a little bit, it highlights me so I don't fall into the background. So for those people that are wondering how that setup looks like. And so first subject here is TV Joshua 1, right? But let me greet some people in the comment section before I go. Leadership was saying, Ricky, where are you? I'm here, leadership. Made it. I made it. I made it. I was like slightly 6 minutes late or so. I made it, leadership. Alule watching all the way from Botswana. Leader, you are the one. You are leadership. Alita watching all the way from Port Elizabeth. Please be safe that side. Last time y'all guys had the COVID on the west. Hope y'all guys are having it well then. Lutando is here. Afternoon, everybody. They are getting here just now, Lutando. Just now. The logo looks nice. Awesome stuff. I'm going to explain it just in a second. As I was designing it, there was some thought process that was going around it. So I'll explain so that nobody gets confused with what's on the logo and stuff like that. And I think it says watching from Cape Town, leadership. Wait, what does your name say? Melson Tongali. Melson, what language is your son name? I'm curious. Let me guess. Tongale. That's not Tsonga. That's not Zulu. That's not. Tell me, leadership. Tongale. I know someone with the Gwale from Mozambique. I don't know. Leadership. Halabek. Let me hear where you from. Thing leadership. Hope you are well there. Chiriro. Varmin Santa. Nendo Dara. Nendo Dara Papa. Nendo Dara. Tandega. Kumeda says looking good. Looks good. The cross looks more. I'll explain it. Don't worry. I'll explain it just now. Watching from Swaziland in the house. Hey, leadership. Linda, I'm in the house. I'm hoping that I'll be done here very soon. Then I can zip it to the house before lockdown curfew knocks in. Emmanuel, how you doing, leadership? Wonderful to see you. Maltabo, how you doing, dear? I'm gonna join you at the gyms very soon. I need to get my biceps stretched. And Julio says, watching from Vits leadership, you are right here. You are right across me right here. You're in Bramfontein. Awesome stuff. I'm supposed to find something in Bram very soon. How is everybody doing? Okay. And so, okay, he responded. Oh, from Malawi. Oh, Chichewa language from Malawi. Oh, okay. It sounded like a particular surname from I can't remember, but Ngole. That surname kind of ends with Ngole, but the person was from Malawi. But we are all from the same branch. So that's why all our surnames might sound like me. If I tell you my surname, you will think, hey, I nearly said it. Can you imagine? You will think I'm not from South Africa. Come and join. Don't worry, leadership. I'll text you. I saw that you are good when I went with the stretching in the whole 9 yards. Mokopani is here in the house, leadership. Arts Express says Walla. Watching from Ireland. Okay, so I'll come back. Hey, Mavela, how are you? I responded to Mavela. I don't know if you're the same. Are you the same one who sent me a message on Facebook? I responded like 3 months later. Hey, the thing is, Facebook hides messages, so you sometimes don't see all the messages that are actually coming through. All right, let me share with you guys this subject on a lighter point. Oh, before I go there, guys, for those people that didn't know that I design everything myself. You can see I was designing the thumbnail here not long ago. Okay, so there are all the elements, whatnot, and you can see the previous ones from the previous. Actually, I was trying to figure out what to put. So let me hide these things here. Let me hide this. Okay. And I think I didn't have this initially. I was kind of going off of the confusion in the church presently. So I was kind of like putting up words and stuff like that. Deleted it. And to the thumbnail that you are seeing right now, I do my own things. Here I was trying to see something in the logo. The logo, the grave of TB Joshua looks very weird. A pyramid looks like a Masonic thing. And also someone addressed the issue of the outfit that looked very Roman Catholic. I saw it. There was also some kind of a cross here, but I didn't know. I was like, that's our TV. TV, they are too much. And so let me show you the particular pictures of concern here, which it's sad, to be honest with you, that people would go this low. But yesterday when we were doing the videos, the last few days, this kind of became clear. Oh, yes, it was you. Awesome to see you on the live leadership. And so the particular picture that I'm talking about here, oh, guys, I got a banner made also. I'm saying I got a banner made like I asked someone to make it. This one right here, watch how I'll think of that one. Look at it. Nice, huh? And also there was another one, and also this one. You're gonna see me switch but when I do this one, I'll have to change up and think. Yeah, StreamYard is really nice, guys. StreamYard is really nice. They have tried. They have hooked us up with a really solid platform here. We can do all kinds of broadcasting stuff here. And so let me show you this particular picture. Me and rambling. Jesus. these pictures are pictures of concern. It's not that we don't like these people. It's just pictures of concern. It's things that concern you when you see them. But if you were looking at these things from a doctrinal perspective, you would have come to this conclusion, okay? And you would have seen it from the get-go. So this is the place which they have put up some words on the side or something like that. The grave is somewhere around here, and you can see they even have a sitting area, like a chillers lounge space or something like that. And they have this part here. This part here is a part of concern for a lot of people. So this is kind of like a walkway. I don't know what exactly do they intend to do with this, but you can see almost like it leads, it comes back to the water this side. But you can see what's going on here now, you see? And so we're not titling these videos this because we want to catch people. No, it's really what's happening. So people have now taken that spot. They're no longer praying in the church. They're now praying in that spot where it's supposed to be the place of the grave. So they are now praying there. What are you praying in an area like that? I just don't get how people go this far, man. I don't know how people actually, how do you even justify this? If I may ask, like, how do you even, I saw one particular other person here. Where's that picture? Just a second. Let me see if I can scroll. Oh my God, I can't scroll anymore. Okay, I saw this particular, so people, you can see people are laying down on thingy. I hope it's still sharing. Yeah, it's still sharing. You can see people are laying down, like almost like they are in fasting and praying. You know, when you're now running out of strength after heavy prayers, that's what they are treating that grave spot. Okay, which is what I was saying. People are gonna go here, and what's gonna happen is that people are gonna start grave soaking. This is grave soaking. What you see. This is this idea that you get something off of a grave, and so you watch here. Let's go back to the pictures here. And there is another one that's of high concern. Okay, this gentleman, I don't know if anybody knows this gentleman. He's one of T.B. Joshua's spiritual sons, but he's from South Africa, this guy. He's from South Africa, exposed for some weird stuff some time ago, but he had actually gone there and got prayers. And then when he came back, boom, he started doing funny miracles and people falling off and all those kind of things. So he is also there presently. I forgot his name, but he's from, I think, Rustenburg or Twatwa, somewhere there. But I do know that there was a heavy exposure stuff around him. But you can see where he is actually. He's in that lounge space which we were talking about earlier on. And this part here, that's where he is while he's doing this. And so this place has become a worshiping spot. They are literally, and you can see them doing like the line thing of prayer. I don't know what the line thing is for here on this alley that they've done. They've literally sat down and thought of how to plan this place. Hey, why is it la pisha, guys? It's exactly what we were saying. It's going to happen. Is that people are gonna start to see these things or to see that spot as a place to go and pray. And so, hey, we've tried, but let every man do as he sees fit. Okay? And so we can get on with the other subjects. Let me see the comment sections. Any questions before we go anywhere else? Because last week we were not able to interact. The moms had caught the COVID, you know. But we got it under control. There's something that I want to show you, but I don't have it here. It's on the other side. And so we got it. If you heard me in that video, by the way, the video, when I posted the video of the COVID, it was after she was well. Okay? Yes. It was after she had returned home because she wasn't with us. In the video, you'll see me, we are going there, we are giving her medication. There's certain types of pills we were there to give them. Very powerful with this noise that's going on out there. We don't want to say. And so in 3-4 days, my mom was well. Unfortunately, they're going to keep hyping it as if there's something there. There's nothing there. But I'll tell you that maybe next week when I come with a bottle or something like that, and I'll show you the particular one that we're talking about. Yeah, Samuel. Yeah, that's him. That's him. I was not going to remember that. I was not going to remember. There were some videos that came out back in 2000 and something. Yeah, that's him. That is him. That's him. There was a point where, oh yes, he did post a couple of them pictures. Oh, that's where the pictures came from. He's the one who posted them. Yeah, he's over there now. He's over there. Hey, our propheto. This is ungodly. Okay, this is ungodly. The church is not to have this type of idolizing of thingy. But back when he went for the deliverance and then he was prayed for and then they kind of gave him some power thing and he came back, there was the whole noise around him. I can't remember what it was exactly, but I do remember seeing those things. And so, snap. These guys, they are all the same. I did hear of other people who were there. Yeah, okay. We're done. Okay, that's him. That's definitely him. It's sad, man. People that claim to know the Bible and they are doing that. Leadership, watching all the way from Toronto. Wonderful to see you. And nothing with your life. Diana says, if you have nothing better to do with your life, go spell what? Go spell. Go sell plantain. Leadership, you must be in Nigeria. Plantain, we don't sell plantain here. We don't sell plantain. That's why I was curious, what comment is this? Leader, Diana, stop worshipping at the throne that man creates for himself. Okay? Stop worshipping at the throne. You're not called to worship. There's no difference between what you people are doing than what the Pan-Africanists do. But anyways, to each his own. If you are free doing that, please continue. Don't say we stopped you. Ne? Yeah. I knew that there will be a problem when he was buried in the church. I didn't expect. Even me, I didn't expect them to build the house. Like to build, like it looks like a shrine. Like you build a house inside the house. That's how the saints are actually thinking. It's very heartbreaking, to be honest. We don't like what they teach, but to go that far, come on, man. Present itself. Okay. Thessalonians chapter number 2. We'll go to verse number 11 with a little bit of context around it. All right. Let's share the screen here. Let's go to the verse. We're gonna go King James, okay? We are a King James house. You can read whichever one you want, but when we are here, we are King James people. Okay, we'll start it from verse number 10. Okay, he says, with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. Most of the people that present deception, they are perishing individuals. Not saved. They are not even anywhere close. They are going. Okay? Because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Which is what Apostle Fortune was actually addressing. To say that the water has salvation. Say no. Even if you like the man, but the water cannot contain salvation. Okay, and so with all that they might be saved, they do not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. For this cause, notice, it's not because they've refused truth. No, the love of truth, meaning they have heard it, but love of it. So they prefer something else. We spoke about that a few weeks back when we spoke about the preference of self. Okay? You notice how it keeps coming back to this. God shall send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Yo, Jesus. Do you know how scary that is? And 13, it says, all right, let's see if I can. Is when you enter into the land that God has given you. Oh man, do not forget to learn. Don't learn. Oh man, you just reminded me of a vast leadership. Notice what it says the headline is. You just reminded me of a vast leadership. Do not imitate the ways of those nations, which you are going to find over there. Yo, you must be blameless before the Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you know this entire picture of this picture of what God was trying to do with the Israelites? We've continuously gone back to it. God wanted to show himself through them. So this was important. You're going to be like me, or if you're going to show yourself, if I'm going to show myself through you, there is a certain criteria I expect. Do not. It's not that, hey, maybe, can rub shoulders. Hey, no, let's leave it. Leadership, thank you very much. That's such a hanger on that. So for those people that are just coming in, this verse here, when you enter into the land, so when you come into the church, okay, remember that the logo interpretation that I was giving up there? Yeah. When you now come into salvation, do not forget that there's only one door into that church. When you come into that, do not forget that there is only one umbrella. There is only one cross. Your pastor was not part of it. So when you if you're just coming in and you haven't seen it, let me just show you what we are talking about for those that are just coming in. I'm a late comers. Some of you not. You're going to miss your birthday one day. The things that come out of my head. You'll miss your birthday. So this is what we are talking about. You can see them here. They are now praying at the site where TB Joshua's grave is. Thank you, Siabonga. Nanapoku likes. Huh? Nanapoku likes you expect a call from him. He said he watches your channel, but Nanapoku. Leadership. Okay, I'll give you an update when he eventually does call. I think that the thing is, we do talk a lot about his content, right? And we do acknowledge his authenticity, even though we might not agree with him theologically. And so, hey, wait, plantain could leadership, don't start conspiracies. So could help with the maybe, you never know. Plantain, originally from Nigeria. I haven't seen it here locally. People actually export it. I price after here, right? And so, was it something that was recent leadership? I don't know. I can't see it. Unless maybe if it's something that was not posted very recently, or if it is one of the videos or something like that. I can't see anything about the bodyguards. Maybe. You can answer down there. I'll get to it just now. I think it's wrong with TB Joshua. TB Joshua is an idol for his followers before he passed. He's an idol for his followers before he passed. Sorry for reading inside my stomach. I'm a bad reader. And he will still be an idol. You do know that the term idol is not Christian, right? You do know that, right? We don't have celebrities. Us. We don't have. We have one celebrity. That's Christ. And so that I can answer you biblically. Me, I like answering people biblically. If I can remember a verse, if I can remember a verse, you're gonna get a biblical reference as far as I can remember. Okay. Let's look at a Bible verse. Looking at what you just said, that these people, they are looking at TB Joshua as an idol for them. This is what Paul says when he was addressing the church that was failing to grow. He says, "For you are carnal." They are saved, but they are carnal. That's their problem, you see. "For wherein has amongst you envy and strife, division, are you not carnal? Walk as men." So you are walking as men when you still see people as idols. He says, "For while one says, I am of Paul, another of Apollos, are you not carnal?" So Paul calls that idea of referencing yourself to another man as carnal. Baby Christianity. In the baby charlatan area over there, he says, "Who is Paul? Who is Apollos?" But okay, do we need to go any further? Leadership. So you see, when we make whatever comments we make, we must remember the Bible is the basis. I don't have an idol. The isapi idol. Where am I taking the idols? There is only one. He says, "Who is Paul? Who is Apollos? But ministers through whom you believed." He says, "I thank God I never baptized any of you." When he goes even further down, he says, "I planted, and Apollos, he did what? But God is the one that gives the increase." So you are not to idolize any man. As a matter of fact, let me remind you of another verse. Looking unto Jesus, in case you forgot this verse. Hebrews chapter number 12, verse number 2. It says, "Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher." My brother, if you can show me TB Joshua in the authoring and the finishing, great. TB Joshua will be my idol. Looking unto Jesus, the author, the finisher. Where is TB Joshua in the authoring and the finishing? Nowhere. Millions of people that follow TB Joshua's format. Do you know how many people follow TB Joshua's format? Just check afros. If you want to see TB Joshua's followers, they have afros. A lot of them carry afros. And so listen to the things that they teach about salvation. Lowly diminished. Practically zero. Don't hate the man. I despise his teaching. I have no reason to hate the man. I've never interacted with him. Now, a person who might have interacted with him might hate him. And don't expect any good things to come off from their mouth. I don't hate him, but I despise his teaching. Okay, so another person here in the comment section says, "Anything to discredit a true man of God." Well, the Bible, let us judge. Let us leave judgment for God more than leadership. If you are going on the wrong direction, folks, right? If you're going on the wrong direction, you want me to tell you you're going on the wrong direction. Otherwise, you'll find out late that you were going on the wrong direction. Positivity sometimes won't help those that are going the wrong direction. You might be holding the Quran until they tell you that's not the Bible. And you might think this is the book that everybody's saying is true. But because someone just removed the covers and you don't even know that you're holding. So you want me to tell you when you're in the wrong. When you read into the Bible, Matthew chapter number 7, which is very favorite for people who say, "Judge not." Read the rest of it. It says, "Judge not so that you will not be judged. For the same judgment that you give, it will be meted back unto you." He says, "Do you tell another person that they have a small little mote in their eye while you yourself has a big mote in your eye?" What is the idea? He says, first get rid of the one that is in your eye so that you can see clearly the other person's one. So I don't have idol worshiping in my camp. So I can see idol worshiping in the other camp, which is what Matthew was actually saying. Context is everything. Context is king. My brother, you're talking rubbish. You have your right to say that, Deji. They are Ricky. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. Ne? This is the time when we play music for the break. Looking for the bodyguards. Yeah, I was looking for the. Why is everybody laughing? Yeah, I was looking for the bodyguards, guys. You guys told me about the bodyguards, so I went over there to see. Country you are busy laughing. Malitabo says the comments are proper. Our leadership. Me, I was there looking for. Country people are laughing at me looking for things. Okay, do you see why I want to get up to date with what the comments are? See, I'm concerned with something that you mentioned about Savior Khalel. Oh yeah, okay. So I don't want to miss any particular comment. That's why I'm scrolling properly. So please bear with me. Don't worry. By 2, I'm sure we'll be starting the parables. Okay. It says leadership. I'm concerned with something that you mentioned about Savior Khalel. You quoted Savior Khalel and referenced 2 of his prophecies. So clearly, is a force. Should we refer now? The particular video that when I referenced the prophecies that he made, those were the ones that I knew. I only heard about him calling himself Jesus after. If you read the video, if you read the comments in that video, that's where people told me that he had made video saying he's Jesus. I didn't even know that about the video. I only knew about it after people told me. But the funny thing is this: I did know Savior Khalel. Okay, I did know him before when he used to have this old channel, God's News or something like that. And so I did know him, but I didn't know that he thought of himself that way. That's all spiritual blessing. What blessing are you getting from water? He says it heals. God has healed. Okay. Now, if you're talking about present, that's a different subject. Water that saves. Excuse me. Problem. You don't see problem here. You don't see problem. Right here. Right here. You're asking about what teachings that is. This is the problem. One, that one there. Okay. Are we clear? We are clear? Okay. We are clear what teachings were going on over there. Okay. So we just wanted to clear that part. That's not Zulu. Oh, leadership. Me, I was very confident that what I said was Zulu. Matthew chapter number 10, verse 41. All right, let me check it out. Revelations of verses. Chapter 10. Let's just go a little bit under context. And let's add this one here. And let's go King James. And search again. 41. I'm thinking maybe from 40. And it says, and he that receives you receive me, and he that receives me, to him I send. Okay, so he that receives a prophet, a prophet, he shall receive a prophet's reward. Okay. Are you saying that in the sense of TB Joshua? Be careful with that. Be careful with this quotation. Be careful with this quotation, and I'll tell you why to be careful with this quotation. I'll give you a reference. He that receives a righteous man, the name of righteousness, is received. Okay. So let's deal with the context behind this thing here. Ne? Now, earlier on, what was the subject that he was talking about? Let's backtrack a little bit and try and find this thing here. Whosoever therefore shall confess. Okay, so can you see that? Let's just piece down what the subject is before he gets to this one. Ne? Okay, let's start. Maybe we won't be able to read the whole thing. Ooh. Oh, you just touched a nerve. Tabeka, you just touched a nerve, girl. You just touched a nerve. Now, why do I say that? because this is right before Jesus is denied, right? And so he says, the brother shall deliver child from child. So he's talking about the end time here, right? And father, the child, and the child shall arise against the parents and cause them to be put to death. That's in the end time. It's going to be hectic. People will be having self-preference over others. Ne? And he shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. He's talking about the preference for Christ, meaning choosing him. Ne? But he that endures shall be saved. But when they persecute you from one city, you go to another. Ne? Okay. I want us to get the background. The disciples are not above their master. Why? So he has suffered. You too will face this suffering. You think COVID, you've been locked down. What is that? We are gonna. He told you it was coming. Hey, my God. He told you it was coming. Calm down. It is enough for the disciples that the master that be called, that is, it does things by Beelzebub. How much more of them of the household? So he's talking about you there. He is being told. It's been said about him that he is using Beelzebub. Now, notice, therefore, it says, fear them not. Therefore, for there is nothing uncovered that shall not be revealed. And then he goes further into this aspect of light and darkness. Please notice how he translates from choosing him and not choosing him. Choosing family over state. Okay? And then coming to choosing him as choosing family. And then now he contrasts what? Light and darkness. He says, what I tell you in the dark, go and speak into the light. What you hear in your ear, go and speak it at the housetop. Contrast. Notice the contrast of equation of truth. Ne? Fear not them that kill the body. Okay? Relationship to the earth as it relates to thinking. Let's go down. I want you to relate. There is a contrasting that's happening in chapter number 10. Ne? So that when we get to that verse 41, you are very clear on the context that's happening. It says, are sparrows more better than... Okay, it says, one of them will not fall on the ground without my Father. And it says, the hairs of your thingy are numbered. Okay? We're just grasping the context here. Just want to be very clear. However, therefore, whosoever therefore shall confess me before men. Notice, he's been contrasting. This is how you read into context. If you don't have time and you are trying to get across, you look through the idea of what is being contrast. Him I will confess before my Father in heaven. Okay? Heaven, earth. Whosoever shall deny me before men, I will deny him before my Father, right? Think not that I am come to bring peace. But guys, so those people that are here saying that, just love one another. He says, I come not to send peace, but to a sword. What is that? Notice he didn't say distraction. The opposite of peace is not... Do I need to zoom my face? Zoom my face. The opposite of peace is distraction. But he doesn't say distraction. He says, I have not come to bring... Okay, you can think on that one when you are by yourself. I've come to bring... Meaning he equates truth to peace. Meaning truth is a sword that is equal to... that's why he says double-edged sword. Cuts between the thing. Is that it separates between... I don't want to think that far. Let me not think that far. My head will go boop, boop. For I am come to set a man. Notice contrast. Okay, so by the time we get here, he says, "He that take not his cross." Oh, this is very important. Let me start it from here. Verse 37. He says, "He that loveth his father and mother more than me is not worthy of me." He's not questioning emotion here. We've stated this before. You badly translate things if you think loving your prophet is better than loving your thing. What he's talking about is not emotion. Of course, I'm emotionally attached to my mother, but when it comes, the love he's talking about is choice. If your father was to tell you what to believe, contrast to what you see in the Bible, what do you choose? I'm here. At the work of the ministry, I'm not with my mother. I've not chosen to be with my mother, even though she was sick. I'm here doing the work. Chosen. That's the choosing. It's not emotion that is addressing, okay? So notice contrasting. The reason why I'm emphasizing on this is because this is a classic of not dealing with context, okay? So when you get here, notice what he's been contrasting you against this. So when he says, he that taketh not up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. The cross is discipleship. Your cross is discipleship. To live clean in this world, which gives a testimony of how truthful the message of the gospel is. If you were to live right, people will pick up the gospel much more quicker than you going in front of them and actually thinking. Some of them you might not even minister to them, by them just seeing your life. Therefore, when he comes here and says, he that loses his life, he that finds his life shall lose it. He that loses his life shall find it. He's contrasting from the beginning all the way through. So by the time you get to verse number 41, he says, he that receives you receives me. Now he's ending the contrasting. Bazalwan, be careful how you please deal with the verses nicely, ne? Man them. Okay, we said we're going to talk about the thing. Yeah, no, magahambe umnyango uvuliwe, the door she's opened. You didn't know that the door has a gender? Yeah, the door is a she. Yeah, you guys got me there, Helen. You got me. Okay, no problem. Actually, Tawega, I was not even sure if you were. Oh, okay. I was not sure if you were recommending the verse, the context around the verse. So thanks. I'm glad you saw thingy. You saw it in that light. So I wanted to clear the part of the receiving the prophet's reward part, because I've heard that a lot more, and without actually entertaining it. When you have your time. So okay, so guys, I think we've covered the subject. I think we've even extended it. Rebecca says you're still here. Okay, so we said we're going to talk about the subject of the parables, right? Some of the parables. Let's do another hour. Ne? Okay. Leadership.
Hi, Ricky. How are you?
Number one.
I'm back again this week. I think the last time I was here was about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I joined a bit late, but I'm enjoying the live. I don't know if you have already discussed this, but I think your video from this morning was talking about some guy that was praying for some lady during a service, and you said the demon was running away. Something to that effect, right?
Yeah. I said I was contrasting the two views that were there online about that video to say the lady didn't want to be prayed for, and also that the spirit within the lady didn't want to be prayed for. And so I was kind of hanging it on that subject. Yeah.
Okay. No, I thought you were saying the demon didn't want to be prayed for. So I was trying to establish, how do you know that she has a demon? How do you establish that? And how do you reach that point where you say it's not her running away, it's the demon in her? I think you said something to that effect.
That's now okay. Let me explain it like this. In apologetics, right? They say if you want to best answer a person who believes something, you explain it within the framework that they believe in.
Hey, you are being too academic now. Okay. I'm a Xhosa guy. Well, I grew up speaking Xhosa. But I think you're very aware. So, okay, just try to simplify it for me.
So it's like, let's say, for instance, if I meet a person who believes in deliverance,
okay,
and I want to speak to this person to a point where I can win them over into the subject. So first, I tackle the basis of the subject to say, people are saying that she wanted to run away. But then I'm like, no, she's not running away because she came to be prayed for. So I've now made a present for the deliverance. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Now, then I go and dismantle that subject of deliverance. So now the person who believes in deliverance has no ground.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, what they are saying with that, within that idea of apologetics, is that if you answer how they think, you have dealt with every other question that can arise around that subject. So when I say the demon in her doesn't want to be prayed for, it's satire, because I don't believe. It's satire.
You don't believe in what?
I don't believe in the entire subject of deliverance. I don't believe in the subject of deliverance. Yeah. So it's satirical because I'm entertaining the subject, but I'm going to destroy the subject.
Okay. As I'm listening to the program today, I'm thinking, what's the point of this program?
Yeah.
Personally, this is me now. I've reached a point where I also run a talk show, podcast, whatever. But I've reached a point where some of the subjects I talk about, I get tired of talking about. I tend to agree with Helen here. Maybe the woman was just not into that touchy business. But stop hating on TP Joshua and his afro. I'm leaving now. Stop hating on TP Joshua and his afro and Christ Embassy guy on his SK just because you're bald like me. 2 implants or something. Otherwise, keep up the good work, man. Yeah, no, I need to go now. Okay, let me give you the last word. It's your show anyway. No.
Okay, leadership. When it comes to, there are certain subjects where we must be willing to reach, even though there is nothing there. Just reach. Yeah, we mustn't get tired. The Bible does warn about that. We say, do not be weary of well-doing. If you are bringing people out of false doctrine and all these things, that's well-doing within the aspect of the gospel. Some of us, we're not going to do something great. We're not going to start a huge revival or anything like that. But the little we are doing online helps a lot of people. So don't get tired of reaching.
Let me leave you with a testimony. So look, let me be honest with you. I sometimes feel like a believer and sometimes I feel like an unbeliever, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions I have, man, concerning how Christ or how God or the Godhead, whatever you believe in, whether you believe in the Trinity, whatever, how they work. Anyway, last year, I had this impression in my heart that I want to do something good for someone over Christmas. By the way, I don't even believe in that whole 25th of December being Christmas and that whole Easter thing, right? Paganism, you know that stuff. So I thought of a scripture in the Bible that says, if it goes something like, if you have thought about it, it is as good as having done it. I think, but though Christ was referring to evil deeds, I thought to myself, I want to do something great for someone this Christmas, but I didn't have time to do it. I'm thinking, I thought about it. Is it as good as doing it? If it's good for evil, it should be good for the good intentions too. What's your take on that? That's my parting shot. I'll listen on the radio. Keep up the good work. I enjoy your show, man. Sharp.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Awesome stuff. Okay, to answer that particular thing that he just said, very interesting. And you know the way you can tell a person who has had a rub on Hebraic learning structures, you can hear them. That's how they question. That's how the center of questions actually come out. That's a very good question, and I'll tell you how How then does the Bible answer around that? James was seeing believers believing. You see that line of thought? They were starting to have that line of thought. And so James tackles that in James chapter 2 when he says faith without works is dead. He wasn't saying if you don't do holy works. He wasn't questioning doing holy works. He was particularly dealing with the aspect of people who were believers, but were no longer active in society. So yes, you thought of it, but remember, when he goes further into that verse, he says, and so someone did actually recommend us to start somewhere, and that was, where is the comment? I think it's Helen. Yes, she says we start at Lazarus and the rich man. And so should we, what do you guys think? She says we can start at Lazarus and the rich man. Should we go for the Lazarus and the rich man? Okay, in the meantime, Pastor BJ is here. Leadership,
how are you, my man?
Number one. The other day when it was your birthday, I just saw his pictures.
Listen to this guy.
That's how we say happy birthday.
Thank you so much, my man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Pardon me today for my video. My phone is a bit like I had not touched my pad, so I'm just afraid I don't want to lose the thing. And I missed talking to you, man. I missed just being that part of the platform.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Long while. Yes. Somebody needs to be recharged a bit sometimes.
Let's get this going. And the thing is, as Pamela says, it's not a parable, definitely. And so I think we are going for Lazarus and the rich man. Everybody? Okay, so Dina says it's clear. Let's leave it high. Yes, please, leadership, continue the good deeds. Okay, it's all we have. It does give a testimony of our salvation. Okay, it's not all the time you have to say. Sometimes just doing good. Say something. That's why a person, when you do something good, they say, God bless you, because they know. They associate the deed, not with you, but they associate the deed with God. Notice. And so that's such a actually.
Oh yeah. I'm much interested. You see, the topic that you're about to touch, the story of Lazarus and the rich man and Lazarus.
Yes.
I don't know if we can call it a parable, but
I think. Do you have data so that we can stay on and just go to it? Or
yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi, so I'm on Wi-Fi. We can continue about. I'm not worried about it.
We thank the Lord for unkept internet.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite subjects. This particular text we are about to go to, and so let's go King James right there, and we will hopefully then. Yeah.
No, I think while you're going to it, the reason why I'm very much interested is that it's not the first time you're bringing the lessons and the subject and the pointing of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit from this thing. Yeah. You've done it before, but it was in brief. You're doing it in brief, and then I think I got so much interested, so much keen to hear more about it, because there was a perspective that you brought it from. That from my traditional learning, I never got to see it from that angle. So it was where in some states you would say where the Bible is silent, be silent, and because there is no clarification of what you have in the deepest meaning of what it is, then I realized there is so much value in it after you mentioned it. So there is so much that I'm interested also in the midst of all that we're going to discuss in that.
Yeah. Now, you've just brought a very interesting part of it, which we had discussed before. and we didn't really go. I think it was also, I can't remember how it came about, but someone, Dorcas came into the comments and she said something, and then I said, yeah, me and Dorcas were on a call and we were talking, and then I just went into thingy. I do remember the stream. So we'll come back to the rest of the subject, but this parable, it's the ending part of what he was discussing earlier on. And so in the earlier part, he discusses the sheep first, then he discusses the woman, then he discusses this one here who goes out and who goes out of his father's house, basically. So let's tackle the language here. Therefore, there was a certain rich man. Leadership. So while we are talking about thingy, wait, what? Just a second. Oh, it's Luke 15, isn't it? The lost sheep.
It's Luke 15, the lost sheep. Yeah.
Yes, it is Matthew 18 and Luke 15. Okay, so this comes directly from that, and then it kind of continues this narrative into this one. So in the first one, we have the redemption narrative actually shown out with the forecasting, therefore, of we'll go there another time. With the forecasting of the Holy Spirit being exhibited within the cleaning woman who goes through the house, and then the sheep, we have illustrated that is the I'm trying to find a way to actually there's a particular verse that I wanted to use in reference, which actually brings it into this one. Just a second, let me think around it. Okay, I don't have it directly in the quote off the top of my head, so I'll just leave it there. We'll go back to it, but definitely. So there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen. He's really decking him out here. And he fed sumptuously every day. Now, this language here, this English. Remember, Luke is a very learned man. Luke writes with scholar type of Greek, scholar type scholar type English. Let's just keep it there. So literature kind of. The literature, the kind of exclusive language, which was particularly used by exclusively by people who were in the scholars. Like you see how doctors write things, memoirs about each other, all those kind of things. And so you get that language a lot. And there was a beggar. So in contrast to this particular one, which was laid at his gate. So already we have a contrasting picture there, full of sores. So contrasting the wealth of food and the dying of the body. So he's using this language of contrast in the earlier parts, but then he desired to be fed of the crumbs that fell from the table of the thingy. Now, this is the same picture that he uses. So thank you very much. This is the verse I was trying to remember just a second ago, and I was saying there's a verse that links this one with the chapter 15. Remember, in chapter 15, the prodigal son wants to eat even the food that's given to the servant.
Yes. Oh, yes.
This is the verse that I was actually trying to. So, but moreover that the dogs came and licked things. So again, he goes back into contrast. This is nearly poetic in a way, the way he's writing it, that he wants to eat somewhere, but he is being fed on. And remember, I don't know if it was him who was a physician, right?
Yes, he was the physician.
Look at the physician.
Yeah, he was the physician.
So this would make more sense from a physician who wants to draw a picture of how graphic the unhealthy environment that this man is in. So He wants to eat somewhere, but he's been eaten by dogs. And it came to pass, he's not going to further this particular subject, that's enough. It came to pass that the beggar died. But notice something. What happens in verse number 20 here? It's what you are seeing all over in the comments. It's not a parable. When people are saying it's not a parable, this is where they are getting it from. From the scholarly side, they see verse number 20 as a thorn in the flesh of people that see this story as a parable, because he says there was a beggar named. There is nowhere Jesus uses names when he is talking about parables. You won't find a parable with names. But here, you have a name directly attached to the subject of the story. Even with the prodigal son, you don't have names. But here, the story is laid out that this is a high probability for a story more than things. So for those that were not understanding why people are saying it's not a parable, this is where they are getting it from. This is kind of like the textual proof you would be using. Okay. And then it says, desiring to be fed. Okay, no. So we go back into thing. And it came to pass that the day that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into the bosom, into Abraham's bosom. And the rich man died and he was buried. Again, he's still using contrasting language to highlight biblical truth here. There seems to have not been any significant burial of Lazarus, first of all. And then this story of the tunnel, Bazalan, Jesus is very clear that the first thing that the man, when he passed away, saw was angels, not a tunnel. He saw angels who carried him to Abraham's bosom. But then this Abraham's bosom is very important for us to understand, particularly when we are studying the subject of hell and paradise, because many believers believe that this area here might not be there anymore. But JC, have you heard of that narrative?
Yeah, I would say that was it was figurative, maybe, if I may put it that way. Jesus was trying to, because remember, he was communicating with the Jews, and we had high regard of Abraham. So I would say it was figurative, but we can continue.
Okay.
But I've heard that narrative as well.
Okay.
I've definitely heard about the narrative, 100%.
Okay. So, and the rich man died and he was buried. So there is that contrasting again. So this language thing here is very key to understanding how the writer kind of narrates his thing. In hell, there is a lot of details he's not really dealing with here, but he just kind of contrast. In hell, he lifted up his eyes, implying that he could see into the place where Lazarus and the rich man, which is where the narrative to say in Abraham's bosom, there is a possibility that these people could kind of see each other, but not interact at full length. But then here, the interaction is seen in conversation format, but not in kind of like, it doesn't get any more physical. As a matter of fact, the physical aspect is rebuked in the thingy. Being in torment. Okay, so that there also, that does put up that thing to say, when we die, okay, this is it gets theological very quick. The people that also believe that when we die, we don't sleep. This is also another place where they draw the picture to say they died and immediately this one is in torment. It's not hell. His judgment has not been rested yet. Remember, blessed is the one who is part of the first resurrection. So that is another particular conversation. That's another conversation by itself. So let's not do that here. But this one here does highlight that where those people get it. So don't dismiss them when they say when they say that when we die, we go to be with the Lord. This is also where they get it to see, and he's seeing Abraham from afar and Lazarus in his bosom, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, send Lazarus. Immediately you see that people in hell don't change. Immediately, that's the first thing that you see there, is that this idea that people, when you see all these people who come out, they say they are saying testimonies about hell. You will hear them always saying, people are there repenting and what. No, this man still has a picture of wanting to be saved. This is what he's exhibited. Send Lazarus. This is a lower person to me. Send him that he might dip his finger into thinking. Pity, self-pity.
Same attitude.
And cool my tongue. And for I am in torment in these flames. So he acknowledges the position in which he is. Father Abraham said unto him, son. This one kind of, it catches thinking, because this might sound like a person who had believed before. So not noting that this is only a reference. The term son here is only a reference to him being born Israel, right? And so it's not terming anything about salvation to say this man. I've had people use that point there to term it towards salvation. Nope. This verse is only talking about him being born Israel. Remember that when thou are you received your good things. Contrast again. He goes back into contrast. Likewise, Lazarus, his evil things. But now you are now he's comforted and you are in torment. Now notice here what he has done here. He has turned the narrative around. Notice he's no longer starting with the rich man. When he started at first, he was starting with the rich man. The story literally starts with the rich man. There was a certain rich man. He lived in purple, and then when you go down, he lived in luxury. But this one was being eaten by swords. This one wants to eat at his table. Then all of a sudden, the narrative now changes. Why? The first shall be last. You have that picture of the first shall be last happening here. But he's comforted, and thou art in torment. So the narrative now has switched. In the afterlife, this one who had faith in the truth has now higher preference. Okay. Besides all this, so now he's now dealt with something, therefore, that then causes him to say, if we wanted to entertain you, okay, if we wanted to entertain coming to help you, there is a big gulf fixed, so that they which pass, they which would notice, they would pass from hence cannot. So now this dismisses, these people that come out, they give testimonies, they say, I went from hell, then they cross over to hell. They cross, he says these ones who would do such a thing of crossing from one side to another, he says they shouldn't be such crossing. Neither can come from us to you, or from you to us. So that brings in the theological position of why those people who say those people didn't go to heaven, or those people, this is where they get it. Also,
yes,
so don't dismiss them. Don't dismiss them. Also, there. Any particular thing that you want to add, gentlemen?
Yeah. I think you are dealing it in a way which is good, because you see, most of the time when people read scriptures, they don't do the analogy that you are giving, whereby you are looking, because sometimes what really differentiates between heretic message and the truth is just sometimes it's semantics. Somebody failing to understand the semantics and the context of how the scripture was written, and it's really good that you are bringing that across. That issue of saying that there is a great gulf between us and the others in the other side. That shows that from this story, maybe if you read it a little bit down further, I wouldn't want to preempt that, but there is something that also is important to the subject of that lady who was screaming in that video that you did of TB Joshua, saying that he's around us.
Yeah.
He's around us, right? It really quells it with no doubt that he can no longer be omnipotent, because he cannot be in the other place and come back to us and be with us. So it's really you then start to question, was it that woman speaking, or it was a demon that was speaking? Because from this look, and maybe as I was saying, as you go down further, you hear this rich man then asks for a permission for Lazarus to go back, right? Because he says that if it is possible that you can send Lazarus to go and tell my other I think 4 brothers that they should not come to this terrible place, because he understood that for him there is no place for repentance.
Yeah.
But for his brothers, maybe there is an opportunity. And he says the answer was that there is no one who is going to go back. There's no one who is going to be sent from here. Where, like, imagine somebody who is in paradise, right? And this man was requesting for somebody who is in paradise to be sent back. Obviously, that person would have a better testimony to say, I was in paradise, guys, and everything was cozy, but I saw people being tormented in hell. I want to tell you guys, stop all this nonsense and come to heaven. So it dispels that narrative of saying that TB Joshua was amongst them in that time when he was being buried. So I mean that is one thing that I wanted to add, but you can continue.
Notice, therefore, when you bring that point up, hey, leader, you make me laugh. when you bring up the point of him, notice that when John is in heaven and he's with the martyrs, hey, Jesus Christ, time is dispelled there. Can we acknowledge that point? That's something that we have not really dealt with, is that by the time when John is in heaven, it sounds like he's in the future because he's talking to the martyrs. What martyr are you talking to who has died? They have not died. But if he's there, notice they don't want to go back themselves to send the message. Why don't they want to go back and send the message? If the martyrs are in heaven and they guys, if the martyrs are in heaven and they are sending John to say, you know what? And they are speaking this message before John. Let me be very clear. They are speaking this message before John to be clear, to say, we want justice.
Until when the Lord of heaven, you have not judged these people for their evil, and then he then says that there are some people who are supposed to die the same way they are supposed to be beheaded for the same cause, and then we can then proceed to judge them.
There you go. So John is literally in the future there.
Yeah.
John is in the future, and the people who are in heaven they understand the judgment of the people that are down here who don't believe. But then when you're looking at this unbeliever here, who is the rich man, he thinks somehow this particular message will change them, which is why certain people believe that he wasn't trying to actually go back and send the message. No, his issue was just to get the relief from being in hell. So actually the verses that you are talking about is this one. I have 5 brothers, therefore, that they may he may testify to them, lest they. Now remember, he sees the flipping of the story. He sees that now Lazarus has preference. So why don't you send the one that you prefer, therefore? Send him, therefore, so that he can go and lest they should come into this place of torment. So he has already judged himself
Mm.
unrighteous for such an act. So otherwise, because otherwise you can't be coming from hell and coming to tell us about guys, it's hot down there. It doesn't make sense. You are there.
Which means hell doesn't have a message at all.
You just killed all the tapes, all the videos of people who are crying, so-called crying in hell. You've just destroyed all of that. Hell has no message.
It has no message.
Yeah. There's no message.
Now let's continue with it here. He says, he says, Abraham said unto him, he had to be very clear who's sending this message. And notice he does keep this consistent. Lazarus, when he's in heaven, he says nothing.
Yes.
Why? Why does Lazarus not say nothing? It's because the silence speaks for itself. So Luke knows the importance of that silence. So he has to keep highlighting who's speaking continuously. Because Lazarus has already judged the subject complete. He knows he has lived the life that was in contrast to this man.
Exactly.
You know, that's why the Bible says we shall judge the angels, because we know a worse off state that the angels could have held, which is this body. Angels don't have this leadership, family duties. Go do family duties, come back. JC, okay, awesome stuff. Just come back when you join back. Highlight down there. And so this is such a very crucial thing, dear. So it says they have Moses and the prophets. Okay, now this is something else here. At this time when he's writing this, the question is when would this story would have happened? But then because we don't have that, this kind of puts that question out there to say, when he said this, who were the prophets? Did this happen in the 400 years when there was no prophetic message, or what happens or whatnot? Let them hear them. He's not referring them to any present message.
He's referring them to the old messages that have been there all along.
He's referring them to the old message. So, and notice he bundles both of them. And remember, when you are watching the Mount of Transfiguration, it's the prophets and Moses. It's the law and the prophets.
Yes.
So that message of the law and the prophets comes into context again when we are now speaking about heaven and hell. This tells you this message fits perfectly before the cross. That's very important.
Yeah.
We narrow it there to say this is before the cross, which means there are certain things here which were there pre-cross, which are clear messages. But then if you read, you are saying?
No, I'm in agreement.
There is another point here. He says, let them hear them. When Jesus comes into context, therefore, when the writers are writing the synoptics, they say, the prophets, the two prophets are here. Peter speaking as a human. Peter would have spoken the same way the rich man spoke here. Peter says, let us build 3 temples. Let us build one for you, one for Moses, and one for Jesus.
For you.
Jesus doesn't answer. Jesus doesn't.
The same narrative that we're getting here when he doesn't answer.
Exactly. The silence says something. Jesus doesn't answer. It is the Father who answers.
Yes. I hear you now. It all nails back now. The silence matters. When who is speaking is very mattering again on this one.
Exactly. So he says, here, let's go to that Mount of Transfiguration. I don't want to butcher what he says there. Mount of Transfiguration. Guys, can we give my laptop? My laptop is very well educated. The moment you say mount, it knows what you are looking for.
You've been doing it. You've taught it well.
So that is Matthew chapter number
17.
17.
Mm.
Let's go NIV. Let's go NIV here. I'm gonna come to the comments just now, guys. Wanna just nail this thing down here. So and he asked Elijah, okay, that. Okay, wait, what verse does he anybody who has a Bible, just highlight for me which verse does he say that my eyes are all over the place?
Where you mean? Oh, you mean where he is?
Yeah, where the Father. Okay, wait.
Let me open for mine as well.
I'm waiting to see the guys in the comments. If the guys in the comments into the mountain and he said let us be removed. Okay, no. Elijah and guys, anybody? Has nobody ever got it yet? In the comment section. Lifted up his eyes. No. A bright cloud overshadowed them. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me just go down with it from here. And he charged them and says, don't tell any man. And Jesus answered and said, Elijah. Okay. No, I don't think this is not it.
This is not that. There'll be in a different. I think it should be the other book, not this one.
Yeah, this one doesn't write that. It is where the harmony of the gospel actually comes into play properly, because oh, come on, which chapter, which book? Matthew, I think. Does Luke have it? Jesus. So, okay. This is my beloved son. Okay, it's Luke chapter 9. Okay, good. Luke 9:35. Luke 85. 9. 5. Guys in the comment section. I was really
counting.
I was, you know me, my eyes after 2 hours, my eyes go on break.
Yeah, and there's a long stay at one place again. Because these ones are long.
Yeah, so this is the verse right here. And then so after they say, and came to pass, Peter said unto Jesus, Master, it is good for us to be here, so that you can infuse your worldly mindset. Good. Let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, one for Moses, one for Elijah, knowing what he said, not knowing what he said. So very clear there. The writer wants to be very clear. The flesh. While he thus spake, there came a cloud, overshadowed them. They feared, and they entered into the cloud, and there came a voice out of the cloud saying, this is my beloved son, hear him. So the emphasis there that we saw back here is even more better highlighted again. Okay, so I wanted to really, I didn't want to butcher that part there, wanted to do it justice. So that verse there narrows down that entire same narrative that we see from the story this side. Now it then goes on to say, let them hear them. And he says, and he said, nay, Father Abraham. He's still argumentative, still proud. No, so notice the character of these individuals. They don't change. So this picture of saying people when they are in hell, they they are repenting, they are asking God for another chance. Gnashing their teeth says nothing about whether they regret. It's pain. It's only talking about the pain.
Definitely. I totally agree with you, because I think these are the narratives that would make people think. You see, this prayer that we normally have for people looking for second chances and coming back again. The Lord gave me second chances when I was in hell, and then He had me, all stuff like that. It also makes people even lose the position to be in heaven while they are still on earth, and thinking they will have an opportunity, like, you know, those experiential messages that are made doctrines.
Also the same thing with the penance of the Catholic. It fits within that narrative also, but biblically it doesn't thingy. You can't redeem. These people are unrepentant. Father, nay, but if one were to go from the dead and they will repent, then Father Abraham hammers exactly what I'm saying. And he said unto him, if they cannot hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they hear one who is from the dead. Clear, unrepentant. People who are unrepentant. And so why is Lazarus silent? It's because he comes to the same conclusion, knowing that these people are unrepentant. He knows very well.
Very well.
He knows very well.
Which now comes in. Which comes in the example that he was giving earlier, which you made a video of, when somebody says He is here, and then he says, though no one from the dead, He is here. No one from the dead is able to bring any message. The example that he was giving of the woman that was shouting at the funeral.
Yeah.
How can he, when he is gone now, bring a message of comfort?
Oh man. Because you know very well. Kuri, the picture that we are trying to draw here, it's not that we are saying the man is wicked, he cannot. No, he's highlighting something about human nature. People are dead convinced about what they believe. They are not changing their minds. That's why when Peter speaks about doing your apologetics, he says, always be ready to give an apologia of the hope that is in you. I am not here to convince anyone. I'm talking about the hope that's in me. It's what's here. Okay, this is what I live by. It's what I ascribe to. if I can put it better, is that I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm only talking about the hope that is in me. Is what I'm convicted of. Is what. These people, the reason why Lazarus is silent is because he knows very well man walks in his path in unrighteousness because he is convicted to live so. And there is so many doctrines you will notice that we have tackled here. There's so many doctrines that we have just passed through. Another thing that I think we also passed over is that the unbeliever. I think you actually touched on it, leadership. The unbeliever cannot carry a message of righteousness.
How?
That's the extent of the story. You're saying it.
Yeah, no, that was the thing is, you see, there's a certain pattern that came to us before. I think those patterns are like when people were growing into knowing about, like, say, let me talk about knowing the Bible before I can go deeper into other things. There's a certain pattern that they brought in, that was more synchronized to the cultural aspect of humanity, such that we have this doctrine that we invised out of the cultural aspect of it, of humanity, into making it sound like it's a doctrinal thing that is from the scriptures. So now people, when they try to reason or to try to bring logic into a statement, they will try and use culture, how things have been operating. Like, okay, fine. For example, we grew up knowing that the ancestors speak when they have died.
Yeah.
and now that when we look into the Bible, we want to use that simulation also to interpret what a dead person of authority in our kind of living or of influence in our living can still come and communicate in the same manner, not knowing that these things are different in entirety at all. So we have a lot of things that we have built up because we didn't have certain understanding and depth into engaging the spirit. So now we still don't want to elevate ourselves to come to a place whereby clarity is clarity, doesn't matter how long it has not been unclear and who has been saying it frequently, even if it wasn't clear. You understand? So those are the things that are so, when you bring them up like this, or when we discuss certain issues like this, I also get to be like, oh, but I used to think like this, you know what I mean? Like I used to punch myself and think this cannot be like this because so and so has spoken and it means so.
There is a parable I'm looking for because it fits into this one now. I don't know. Is it Matthew 21? Because I think it's the next chapter. I think it's the next chapter. You guys can help me with it because it adds to this narrative of the human nature that is trying to establish here, or actually further here. I think from 30 something. Okay, yeah, so this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is it. He says, leadership, are you able to read from your side?
Yeah, I can. From verse what?
Verse number 31.
Number 31. It says, whether of them twain did they. Oh, that's the King James version. Okay, fine. All right. I was trying to wonder.
Yeah.
Whether
James,
of them twain.
You need to think of it first before you go. You say, okay, what is he saying?
Yeah, so the version sometimes, if you don't read it from where it's context, then it also takes away the message. Whether of the twain did the will of his father? That is a question. They say unto him, the first, Jesus said unto them, verily I say unto you, that the publicans and the harlots go into the kingdom of God before you. Okay,
so this is the background of what is about to now tell. So this other parable that is about to tell, it's this idea of people you don't think are going in because you think a certain self-righteous. Yeah, let's go on to 32.
32 says, for John came unto you in the way of righteousness, and ye believed him not, but the publicans and the harlots believed him. And you, when you had seen it, repented not afterward, but you might believe him, that you might believe him. And 33 says, here another parable. There was a certain householder which planted vineyard and hedged it around. He digged a wine press in it and built a tower and let it out to the husbandman, and went into a far country.
Okay, just hold it there. Notice there. So he goes from contrasting this issue of people who you think are unrighteous. And then he brings in the subject of, he's talking about the ordinary guy, as in contrast to these religious people who who is offended by, basically. And therefore, he says, this parable, therefore, it relates to this particular story that I'm about to tell you. So he plans, notice that he does everything that needs to be done. These people are only there to watch over it. That's it.
Yes.
He dug it, he does what, he makes sure that it has all the provision. It's a picture of the church.
My eye just opened lead straight to the church like that.
It's the church.
Straight to the church.
And then he says, when the time, my bad. When the time of the fruit, leadership, do you remember what we stated about the story of Jonah? This is so crucial. Why I love that story. It's this story here is that God has done everything. You just go tell them what I've told you to tell them. And when the time of the fruit came was near, he sent his servants. These are angels. To the husbandmen, that they might receive the fruit from, awesome stuff. And the husbandman took his servants and they beat him up. It's a picture. Remember, it's figurative. And they killed another, and then they stoned another. This is a picture of the last days. I did once hear one particular rabbi break this part up. I wish I could remember how he broke it down. But I tell you, it was crazy. He went into basically, let me explain this properly. There is this this idea that whenever numbers are presented, you have to go back and look back into what could he be trying to narrate. Whenever he presents numbers or anything in multiple formats, you have to go back into thing in order to come back to the numbers. Unfortunately, I can't remember fully. And trust me, every time I look at this parable, I remember what that man was trying to say. So basically, they took his servants, they beat one, they killed one, they stoned another. So only one is dead, but there is 3 here who are at 7. So it's a message. I can't remember exactly. I think at one point he actually timed it as the church, and he says that particular part I remember. They took his servants. So one they beat, Christ they killed, and they stoned the church of the last days. So basically, he was kind of like just putting it out like that. But which is kind of like the same thing that you do when you come to the churches. But anyways, let's move right on there. I just wanted to know that point there. But I forgot the particular teaching that he gave there. And again, he sent another servant, another servant more than the first, and they did unto them likewise. The last days church is about to have it. Listen, lebalang the COVID, they are still gonna have it. But the last one he sent he sent his son. So now this is where everyone, the prophets are removed, we are removed. He puts his son forward. Now this is where the message of the gospel comes through. And they will revere my son. And when the husbandmen saw his son, they said amongst themselves, this is the heir. So now, okay, this gets a bit dangerous. Let us kill him and let us seize his inheritance. Do you remember what the high priest said when they were talking about Jesus? What was that?
The time of Pilate and everything else, then when he was talking about being the king.
Yes. They said to themselves, if wickedness is wickedness, Masalani. Wickedness is wickedness. They said, if we let this man continue, he will consume the entire nation. It's better we kill him than to lose our rights over what we are in rulership over. It's the same narrative that you are seeing in this parable. So he literally was telling them what they were going to do. And they caught him and they cast him out of the thing and they slew him. So that has already happened. When the Lord, therefore, of the vineyard came, what will he do? He's asking. The same story. Remember that story? What is it in the Old Testament? There's that story of the guy, of the king. I forgot. The king who asked, there is a man whom the king wants to honor.
Yes. I think it's is it the books of Esther or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. And so the man says the wicked thing to say, for the person who the king wants to disgrace, let him do this. Can't he? He's talking about himself. So this is literally that same picture that he does here.
Is it Hanan or Haman or something like that?
Yes. And they said unto him, he will miserably destroy. Okay, now this is them. They said unto him, he will miserably destroy. This is the same thing that you see in the men in hell. They have self-judged. They know what is right.
They know what is right.
Those wicked men.
I think also on a lighter note, also it reminds me of David when he was trying to pass in a narrative, and then God said, "It is you," when he had sent Nathan to him to say stuff.
Exactly. It's human nature. It's human nature. And will let out his vineyard to other husbandmen. Ah, my goodness. They literally just prophesied us, the church. They just prophesied the church into the... Oh my goodness, these guys. No, which shall render the fruits in their season. Thank you very much. So, Azalani, when I was thinking about this, I was actually just laughing because this guy just literally said, you can replace us. So human nature, Basalam, one thing I want to note here is that human nature knows what its judgment is. They don't admit it. They want to get around it. They want to kind of move around, but they know what the right judgment is. They know what the right judgment is. So 100%. that man in hell knew exactly what he deserved. So he can only recommend that Lazarus be the one that goes. He can't recommend himself because he knows he's not worthy to carry that message. The same way we're saying. We're not inserting ourselves. This is literally rooted inside there. He says, and Jesus said unto them, did he never read the scripture? The stone the stone which the builder rejected, the same became the cornerstone. This is the Lord's doing, meaning God has ordained it to be so.
Yes.
And it is marvelous in his eye. So he's saying the judgment of unrighteous men, it's marvelous. This is why Lazarus is silent. Because if I was to speak, I will tell you how unjust you are. You remain silent because I know your judgment. Dude, why are you being deceptive? Why are you being deceptive? So therefore, notice this. Therefore, Bazalani, in heaven, we will not think of family members who were unbelievers. We will not get that out of your mind. Because we will know, we know. That's why he says, man, these people that say, oh no, judge not, my brother, you are so far from understanding God's nature or understanding what the likeness of Christ is. When he says, you do unrighteous, he says, when they accused him of judging unrighteously, he says, even if I judge with righteousness. So meaning there is what is known as righteous judgment. He says you are far. So if a person still speaks of you how dare you judge? Who are you to judge? It's because they don't understand that the righteousness of God stands against. Vazalan, there is no better way if I can narrate. You can see my mouth is failing to convey it. There is no unbeliever you will even feel pity for, because you know the judgment they've received they deserve.
100%. 100%. You see, just maybe to put it back on earth, when I'll put it on earth so that it like on an ethical kind of natural means, so that they can get it as well. When a mother's child gets raped in front of the mother, and the rapist is caught and put in prison, the mother feels that's justice. And doesn't have remorse for that purpose, because that's what they feel. This is what is supposed to happen to this person for what they did. You understand? So that contentness in her for something that has been punished for what they have done makes it more like in a different, like I'm trying to put it wide there so that you understand how content it will be for you to know that the unrighteous are deserving to be in the place they will be.
Linda, you know, if you know, that's why he says eyes have not seen. He's not only talking only about the good. Whenever you read that verse, eyes have not seen. You see, these people think they have seen unrighteousness. You haven't until you see that unrighteousness. This is why he says he had to shorten those days, meaning those days were supposed to be longer. The end time is supposed to be longer, but he had to shorten it. And how does he shorten? Oh my God. Oh my God. How does he shorten it? Notice. Oh man. My head gets stuck.
So much to say, yet feeling so little is coming out.
My body fails me. Why does he? Oh man. Okay. You see, the shortening of the days of the end time is the same as Jesus shortening the days for his crucifixion. Jesus literally shortened the days for the crucifixion. They wanted to delay. When they arrested him during the night, they wanted to hold him
until after. So he literally forced their hand to do it on Passover. He literally, because Judas gets so it's not a problem. The part which I was looking for is the part where it actually states that there was a reason behind his doing. There's a reason, and I think I might be confusing. I want to be very clear. I might be confusing Jewish tradition with what it says in the verse. There's a very high chance that I'm doing that at the moment, is that there is a particular text within Jewish context which actually alludes to him being repentant and seeing suicide for himself fit. Man, I'm so persuaded to finding this verse, but anyways, let's just leave that one out. So he shortened the days, so they were forced to literally do it at that time. And even when you go all the way through to when he is on the cross, you will remember that he dies before the breaking of the legs actually was necessary to fulfill also another particular prophecy there. So by so doing, the scripture is fulfilled, but they are then forced to use the spear to confirm the death, because they needed a confirmation of death. And so they stab him and then think. So now, the last days church. Oh, no, I found it. Yes, okay.
I found it. Thank you very much. Thanks, leader. It's chapter 21. I went to chapter 21 to emphasize on that human nature.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So he was thinking that they would reverence the Son, but they decide to do otherwise. And they caught him and they slew him. And then he speaks of the judgment He asked them, what do you think is going to happen? They say, no,
Yes.
they are wicked, those people. As a matter of fact, replace them. Okay. Now, this part here that he says, and Jesus said, he said, the stone that you people should have thinking. So stating that the judgment that they had spoken over themselves was marvelous. Speaking of judgment, to say we would have righteous judgment to a point where we would see the wrongs that others do, which is the silence that we were talking about over there. It says, therefore, the kingdom of God, this is the part where we are, the kingdom of God shall be taken from you. And so he's now declaring what they've just said about themselves shall be taken and given to a nation bringing more fruit. This is why Paul leaves the heart of where the gospel is, and he goes into Europe, because Europe is the one, just like it was said on the earlier verse, when you go into an area, they persecute you. The particular verse that was brought by Austandi, when you experienced a tribulation in one area, go into another area. So he went into Europe and the gospel flourished over there. So the gospel was given over to another's. He says, whosoever shall fall on this stone shall be broken. But on whosoever this stone shall fall on, it will grind. This is what it means about judgment. This is what happens with judgment. You are literally speechless there. So our state,
you have no identity anymore.
You have no identity anymore. And when the chief priest had heard these parables, they perceived that he spoke. Notice, they see themselves in what he is saying. And they sought to lay hands on him, but they feared. So, oh man, how better can I explain this? I'm failing. They sought to lay hands on him, but they feared the multitude. So they judged in themselves. In themselves, they still wanted to do what they had known that he was rebuking them for. So what you see in the man in the hell is the same narrative that you see over here. These people are unchanged. And so unfortunately, I couldn't find that other verse. But then here you can see it. Yeah, you're saying leadership.
No, yes, leadership. Can you quote the scripture again? I'm trying to follow up. Can you quote the scripture again?
Which verse?
The one that you are reading right now.
Oh, this is Matthew 20:29. 20. Did I say 29? Jesus. 21.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Pastor BJ, you were saying something.
Yeah, I was saying this narrative. You see, I think I was looking at something when you were making a video or something, and then you're talking about the lust of the eye, the pride of, and then all the three things that you mentioned, or that we know of the Bible. So when you look at the pride of life that we have, people acquire. You see that there's another scripture that comes on how when a man, why will a man lose his soul in order to gain the whole world? That place is that when a man is too prideful of what he thinks he has achieved, he fails to come to the realization of the truth that is supposed to bring him now to the right place and atmosphere that is supposed to take him into the right attitude of who God is. So now they would be hiding it they will be knowing exactly what they're supposed to do in themselves, but because of the influence that they have already created around them, that they are living with, or they're living on, or they're feeding on, they would rather say nothing. They would rather keep it there and just be torturing and refusing and create defensive mechanisms in order to, creating all those defensive mechanisms in order to look right for what they have influentially said out there that is known by all people, than to come to the reality that will save their souls, because they already sold their souls because they wanted to serve people and give their souls to the people without considering what God wanted them to do. So now, because they've created an empire, it is difficult for them to let their empire go without defending it. So they'll be knowing in their heart that they are wrong. That's what charlatans are happening. That's what's happening to charlatans at most. That's what is happening to charlatans. That's what is happening to charlatans.
So what we see here, I'll start again, sure. Yeah, the most important thing here is that I wanted to really highlight with these particular parables is that the parables, they have a depth of meaning. They have a depth of meaning. I mean, like we talked about one parable here, but notice how far we have gone right across. Someone is quoting, Sister Esther is quoting 227. I'm still looking. I've not left that point, leadership. I think I'm gonna sleep at the studio today. Otherwise, lockdown is on Shire. The thing that I wanted to really note here is that the conviction of man, or the state in which the rich man is completely concurrent. It goes directly with what you see in the Bible. Notice that earlier on we were addressing that the people that follow the men we are talking about in the title, they don't have the love of the truth. So they perceive this worship of, or prayers at the thingy, as a worship of God. It's because of a lack of truth. It's a lack of truth. And as a result of that, they then go to these demigod ideas and stuff like that. And so the narrative that I really wanted us to really see that is that these parables are very much in depth. Next time, I think you guys can tell us which other one do you want us to actually go to. But I think we've done them justice. Is there anything, Pastor BJ, that you think we should add on to? Pastor BJ.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we've done it justice. What do you think?
No, I think we've done it justice. The thing is, there are certain topics that when you bring forth, they need a very clear space, man. They need a very clear space. Yeah, they need a very clear space so that you can be able to deal with them. So I feel that which were dropped on the ground, it's fair enough to bring a certain sense into the minds of the people. And I think also it answers the place. I mean, the first question, the question that also led into that one, is it a parable or not? From just reading the scriptures also and opening it up also, I think it then gives somebody a good conscious place and where one can be able to also answer. Because remember, it's not only ending with us, it ends with other people that we discuss that will never come to the platform. That we have to also give a good narrative that is more conscious and more clear to yourself as well. So for me, I think, there's more justice that has been done to it.
Awesome stuff. Untold stories. All
right. Yeah. Thank you, brother, again for giving us this opportunity to highlight, important things in our lives. I think if we will end this, I would love to say, I wish if I was here all the time when you actually started. But what actually provoked me to come to the platform is the issue that people they know, their conscience, tells them exactly what is right and what is wrong. I was speaking to a brother during the week. We were discussing the word, and he asked me, he asked me about a certain preacher, and he said, what do you say about his dressing and tattoos, things like that? And I said, my answer was, do you know that people they know the truth even before you confront them? Right. I'll try to put it in a simple way, maybe as we are concluding. Everything that is happening in this world, it was done by God. I'll give you an example of Moses. When Moses is sent to Egypt, I think it's around the Exodus chapter number 4. When Moses is sent to Egypt, God deals with him and gives him confidence that, look, I want you to go and do a job that many people cannot do, but I have chosen you to do it. So Moses did not actually understand what God really wanted to do, but there is something that I want you to note that God says. He said, I am sending you to Pharaoh, but I will harden his heart. So I'm coming to the issue because this was like very interesting to me. Everything is done by God. Even those people, some people, we may pray for them. We may love to see them in the kingdom. But believe me, they don't belong there. They belong where they are right now. You gave an example of Judas. Now, the question may rise that if Judas did not do what he did, because Jesus was so neutral and he was a brother. So when he was amongst the disciples, you could not spot him, just like what is being done today, like Prophet so and so, Apostle so and so, Pastor so and so. The guys struggled to a point that they asked a person, they needed a person who understood who Jesus was. Because when Jesus came amongst the disciples, he became like them and he trained his disciples to be like him. So when you see him or when you come in their midst, you could not tell exactly who Jesus was, because he trained them to a point that when they are walking as a group, Jesus and disciples, you could not exactly tell who Jesus was. So they did not want to make a mistake, hence they wanted a person who was close to him to actually spot him, hence by kissing him. So I'm saying what Judas did, it was he judged himself. And I just wanted to say he was supposed to do that. He judged himself, and I cannot say anything about that. I don't think that anyone can say anything about it. When Moses sent to Egypt, God said, I'm going to deliver my people. I'm going to harden his heart. So maybe if it was you and me, you could say, no, I'm not going to go there. Why can't you soften his heart?
Yeah.
And then again, yeah. People, they knew the truth, that the direction, people, they had the idea, as much as there were different generations, from the generations that walked into Egypt and the generations that walked out of Egypt to Canaan. But they had idea, because I believe they were teaching every generation on the directions and the map from Egypt to the promised land, somewhere, somehow. So they knew the direction. But again, the same God say, okay, look, you will walk according to my command. You're not going to walk according to your command. During the day, I will show you a sign as a cloud. And during the night, as a pillar of fire. So himself, he did that again. Did they know the truth of the direction of going to the promised land? The answer is yes. But what did they do? They chose to follow the command of the Father. Now, let me leave that one. But maybe it will be understood at a certain point. You know the aspect, the story of Joseph. Joseph is thrown into the prison. I won't be so long. Joseph is thrown into the prison, and there is a threat upon the wise men of Egypt because they are about to be killed, because every time when they try to interpret the dreams of Pharaoh, who told Pharaoh that what the wise men were saying, it was wrong. It was actually Pharaoh who said, whatever that you are saying, it is not it. But eventually Joseph came, and when Joseph interpreted the dream, then and there he knew that this was the truth. Who told him that that was the truth?
Inwardly.
Okay, you quoted again this. Yeah, you quoted again the scripture of the disciples who went to pray with Jesus, the three disciples.
Yeah.
When they saw the transfiguration, was there a teacher who said, guys, what you are seeing right there, it is Moses and Elijah. And that one is Jesus that you came with here. There was no one. But all of a sudden, they know the truth. And he is actually telling Jesus that Elijah, let's make this one for Elijah and this one for him. Who told him that this was Elijah and Moses? Let me move on again. When they saw him walking on the water as their boat was being tossed, one of them realized that it was Jesus. Who told him that it was Jesus and not a ghost? Because a human being cannot walk upon the water. And he never taught them any lesson about walking on water. So I'm coming to this conclusion.
To say they didn't have a reference of it, but they could align with truth.
There was no Bible there to tell them that if you see an image that walks on water, then you must know that it is Jesus. No, there was nothing like that. If you see, the dazzling color, and then you see two images with, okay, if I will take you again, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, they are thrown into fire, and they see a fourth image. Who told them that it was the Son of Man? Because they say that one, the fourth one, is the Son of Man. Who told the unbelievers that was the Son? That tells you who have got hard hearts today. They know the truth. You see, personally, I don't fight about the issue of dressing. If you want to go to church wearing a bathing suit, go. If you feel
leadership,
like
your network is cutting up.
Go to
but he's saying very important things.
Pastor PJ, I'll come back to you just now.
Okay.
Leadership.
Okay. All right. If I am I still live? Okay.
You are clear now. You can just speak. It sounds better now. Right. He's gone unmute. Leadership, you were fine. Okay, but you can come back if you're thinking. Basically, what he's saying is he's literally summarizing what I was saying is that you see people in the old with the same perspective on truth in the Old Testament, even though they were not told. How did they know it and so forth? Yes, of course, we know that in the Old Testament, within thinking, they did have a perspective of Messiah, but how did they know how that one was? So in case you were not catching him clear there. And so leadership, if you can get it back, you can just text me on the private message and then I'll add you back again. Okay, let me add well, we are going.
Yeah,
Willie just coming when we are leaving. You like coming late when I Willie?
I couldn't let my brothers go. I had to say, brothers. It's about Christ. You've been sharing the words of Christ, so I have to chip in a bit.
Nice, man. So
when he comes back, you can take me out. It's okay, isn't it?
Okay, no props.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, interesting thing when you tie it up today, when you see these the guys in the one who was saying sent a word to my brothers. Notice that all those people are not saying go give them the law. I'll tie it up. The issue is about the Messiah. You cannot please God without faith. It's impossible. You cannot please God. You can't worship God by the law. You see, there was that one issue from the last that you did that I needed really. I was burning. I needed to answer. Is that there's our sister there. You know, she's really innocently trying to worship God at home and run away from all that is not true, and trying to do the law. My sister. The law was never given for you that you should come to God by the law. It's impossible. There is no human being here except Christ, whoever will talk only about the Sabbath. There's nobody here who has ever revered the Sabbath. To revere the Sabbath is to do the law entirely of the Sabbath. And that means also stoning your children if they don't observe the Sabbath. And nobody's stoning their children out there. Nobody can step up and say, God, me, I love the Sabbath. Don't you tell lies. You see, you love God by loving Christ. If you don't love Christ, if you don't have faith in Christ, if you don't look to Christ, everything is about, you see, on the day of judgment, when you come there and you say, I prophesied, I cast out demons, I built a huge church, I had followings, I convert. You see, all these people are busy trying to talk about what they've done, and Christ will just get rid of you. You come to him and say, you kneel down, I am a sinner, and you are the blessed Christ, the eternal one, and you will be saved. Not on your works, but the works of Christ. And on that law, if you notice, Christ said, you have heard it say, an eye for an eye. But I say, what did Christ say? Something completely contradictory to the law. Now, are you going to say Christ is a sinner for changing the law? Because the law says an eye for an eye. But he says, I say, you forgive. These, you see, nobody's coming out here and saying, how dare Christ now, that lady accused you, Ricky, that you are teaching people not to follow the law. You've been branded an antinomian, that you want people to be lawless. We're supposed to touch this subject. What do you don't go to the Old Testament and then you read all these laws and you somehow suppose that you can yourself carry the law. Those that it was thrust upon Israel and they died. Yeah. So that issue to my dear sister there, yes, seek truth, but the truth is Christ himself. Christ himself is literally truth. And if you come to him, you come to him not to say, I've managed to get away from all false churches. Talk about yourself. You are a sinner. There is nothing good in you. There is nothing pleasing about you in the face of God at any one moment in time. But there is everything that is pleasing about Christ to God. If you talk to those terms you see, I always teach my son if I ask him to pray before we eat, after I finish his thanking him, I said, don't ever forget that I pray in the name of Christ. Why? Because he has no right to come before God the Father as a sinner. You can't even open your mouth to say thank you to God when you're a sinner. It's impossible. You can't. But you can in the name of Christ. This is the issue. So let that try. I don't know how many times I'll come back here if I hear people trying to talk about they are observant, they do this, they do Christ has done it better. So we should the law is there to silence all of us sinners.
So actually if you look at this entire thing, what you come down to, hey, gentlemen, I think we must close now.
Christ will give you strength.
Leadership. I don't even have food here. I'm going to sleep hungry. I'm gonna have to preserve my strength because I don't have food inside the studio. So the narrative we've just drawn to, it's such a powerful. Hey, look at Papi. Papi is only coming now. Leadership, we are going. You are saying greetings. So the narrative we drew to it's highlighting that I wanted to really show. I wanted us to really go into that because when Thingy said, "Let's do this parable," that's the first thing that came to my mind. Is that this one perfect because it highlights human error. So next week, I don't know. You guys we'll talk then. We'll talk on Saturday which one we are doing. We don't. It's nicer this way when we come unprepared. Saturday we do it at 4:00 leadership. So next week Saturday 4:00, we'll then do the other parables. So whichever parable comes up first, and then we will have people just say, "Yeah, let's do that one." And then
we might as well touch our last brother who left. He was talking about predestination. That's an interesting topic.
Oh yeah. No, let's hold that one. I still have to do the giveaways. I still have to do the giveaways. We can talk about. I think the predestination subject. What does it pertain to? To Lordship salvation also?
No, the idea that God has determined all things. Everything that you see is, all of history is not random.
Okay. Yeah, no, let's hold that one up. Bazalan, can we close this one? Untold Truth, I see you down there. Leadership.
And when we start, Ricky, you have 2 winners already for the giveaway. Those 2 ladies who answered about the men who were raptured, who never saw death, they need their prizes, please. 2 of them. You've already got 2 winners. We've never done it.
Which ladies? Leadership?
We'll talk. We were supposed to talk about it, but we'll talk about when we started the issue of Abraham's bosom, rapture.
Oh yeah, Auspumla and what was it? I can't remember.
Yeah, the 2 ladies.
Yeah, I do remember them earlier on. Yeah, I do remember.
So you have 2 winners already.
Any closing remarks, guys, before I do the announcements? I think Untold Truth's network is not that good. Pastor BJ.
Yeah, for me, man, thank you so much for, like I always say, man, it's always an eye-opening to learn from a clear mind. There's something that you mentioned earlier on when you were talking about Dr. Abel's kind of presentation and a place where you would hear his rhythm but still not agree on certain principles because you understand them from a different aspect. And to me, I want to use that as an encouragement to people that allow yourself to learn from a neutral place, so that when you coerce with other people, you coerce with them from a neutral, sober place, not an influenced place of communication, so that we don't defend. I don't say Rick, you are not right because this is what Pastor Chris said to me. You are not right because I learned it soberly. I got it rightly, and this is what my convictions are telling me about the whole thing. And these are some of the things that I feel at most we are so close so that when you don't sound like so and so, you don't sound like so and so, or your manner of learning or teaching or liberation is not coming from this aspect of the person that I know, then it means who are you? You understand? And then you lose identity because you don't sound like somebody that we know. So, but like we always say, I love Willie because at all times, he will defend Christ having to come out of everything that is being discussed so that people can understand that it's all about Christ. So for me, that makes sense because you can only have that identification and clarity of Christ when you learn soberly to learn who he is, so that your convictions are convicted from self and to others, and then learn from others in that clear mind. That's what I would encourage and say. Thank you so much for the platform.
Thank you, leadership. That's such an important point. Always learn with a clear mind. Presume that the person is about to tell the truth. Assume that the person is about to go to say, don't always get so defensive and think. Just wait and listen and just let them say what they are saying. And sometimes you might find something when you like. I'm baffled at how far we went at that parable. We spoke about it 2 hours, one parable. And so, and with no preparation, bear in mind, no preparation. And so we can dig each other's mind to such a point where we get to that these things are deep. These things are not surface and things. So next week, definitely, whichever topic comes up, whichever parable comes up first, we are doing that one. So Donkey's leadership. Always awesome having you guys, man. Awesome. Wellington, or are you gonna sit with me while I do the giveaways? Which Bibles did I do, by the way? Last.
Yes, bro.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can. We're gonna have problems, yeah. I said the winner must be someone who's live. Ngiqalile indaba. Okay, so the first one, oh man, there's 2 Bibles oh snap. Okay, problem, I didn't write down the second Bible, and so I don't know if anybody remembers. I only have the first one. The top one is already announced, that one. So I only noted one particular Bible. There's 2 Bibles that I have next to me. Oh, okay. It's only one. Okay, it's only one. I remember now. I remember what happened. So this application Bible, we announced the winner. It was Sister Oma. She came earlier on in the comment section and she said, "Where's my Bible?" So the Bible is still here also. So this week, I think, okay, Wellington, let me add Untold Stories so that he can finish off his point there. Hey, actually, let me finish this one. Leadership, just a second, let me finish this, but his network might be unstable. Pastor BJ, Arbue next time, man, so that I can add the leadership here. Wellington, you can stay in. I'll come back. Just a sec. Leadership, you are live.
Okay. Yeah, my network is poor. Please forgive me. But I just want to leave the listeners with this, message.
Did I represent what you were saying properly?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. But unfortunately, I was getting lost. The masters of network. Say the devil in the book of Ephesians. The devil is the ruler of the waves. So he's playing something around there. But that won't discourage me. I'll keep on fighting. But the best way of learning scripture or scriptures, you know, I like what my previous brother just said, you know, is to have a free spirit and to be happy. You know, something that you are not an author of, you mustn't be ashamed to make a mistake out of it, because you are not the author. So you are learning. You are not the designer. So you are learning. So we mustn't approach the scriptures in a way that we know the scriptures. Nobody knows, but the mysteries are revealed to those that knows, that are willing, and to those that are according to his purpose, because it's all about his purpose. Remember, the whole Bible is about Jesus. It's Christ-centered, as we've said. It's about Jesus. It's not about us. So if you read like Romans 8:28, you know, all things, they are done. You know, you can actually quote the scripture. All things to those who are according to his purpose. Yes. So everything that happens with our lives, it must be according to him, and we mustn't feel ashamed because it is his purpose. So I'll leave viewers with this, that we need to rejoice in the Lord. You know, when you are happy, when you are crazed with the Lord, you know, you are like a drunkard person, but not drunk with wine, but now being drunk by the Holy Spirit, as the Bible says. So we need to be happy and learn with the attitude of happiness, not to be grumpy, not to try to look for mistakes, but to continue to learn. So that's what I can just say.
That's the heart of flesh, actually, right? That's the heart of
Yes.
flesh, is that it recognizes itself and know that the other person can make the same mistake.
Yes. So we also have to try to avoid argument. You know, I've never heard ourselves like arguing, especially on this platform. We have to avoid argument, because the Bible actually, when Paul was writing to Timothy, I think it's 2 Timothy chapter number 3, verse number 1 to 5, you know, he actually speak to Timothy saying, you know, avoid argument, but in everything that you say, you know, speak with, you know, be approved, you know, make sure it benefits your spirit, it benefits you. It's not all about, you know, fighting. So, and also the aspect of faith. Faith is not manufactured by people. Faith comes from God. So it's not something that you try to look for or you try to buy, but we have a measure of faith. Everybody have got a measure of faith. That's what Jesus was actually trying to provoke in people, that what you just need is just a faith, which is just like the mustard seed. You know, everybody have got a measure of faith. It's something that is manufactured in heaven, not by men. So faith is not something that we try to look for and then we get and then we try to manipulate it. Faith is from God. And now when we have faith, what do we do with the faith? That's where it matters. So if you look on the issue of Abraham, he had faith, but his faith became significant because he listened to God. So if you have your faith, you stay home, you do nothing about it, then faith without works, Hebrews chapter number 11, you know, is dead. So you are just like a dead person. You have your faith, you put it in a napkin, you go now to parables. It's dead. So faith is important, but what is it that you do with the faith? Now, faith to me, it is the currency that you buy with, that you trade with. Now, God is looking for those people who will put their faith into action. So let me end here. I don't want, you've been here for a very long time. You were yawning, so I want you to
No,
go.
now,
Can you go back?
now I'm
Yeah.
even just trying to be less active so that I can preserve my stuff, because I can't go home now. The Uber has closed down, and so
Oh, I
the
hope you have
Uber
a
has,
sleeping bag there.
no, I do have a sleeping bag, but I don't have food. And so I'm gonna fast.
No,
But it
that's
is well
okay.
leadership. I do see
Oh.
people are getting on this outer body subject. Hey, Jesus. Don't worry, guys. We'll tackle that subject next week. When I think we'll tackle the subject next week. Yeah. Let's just leave it
Yeah.
there. We'll tackle it. Hey, this one wants to say hello. What's it?
No, I'm actually moving my camera away from
Hey,
him.
don't come in the camera. You want problems. Right, leadership, no problem. Next week, I think we can further the subject of the parables. I think there is a
Yes.
lot. There is a
There is a
lot.
lot. There is a lot. There's a lot.
And so, thanks for coming through, man. Always wonderful to see
Thank you,
you.
brother. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, donkeys. Awesome. Okay, guys, let me do the TK Samuel. What's up, man? Always a blessing seeing you, leadershipings. So let me do the announcement. Announcement. So yes, it is the Spirit-filled Bible that is left, right? This one right here. Okay. Only the person who's here live. I hope you have commented on those videos. And what was the instruction? RSA VIP 17. Was it 17? Let me check the instruction. I don't remember. What was I saying about this one? Okay. Instruction. Okay, I didn't say, I must have said it instead of writing it down. Okay, let me just listen just a second. Let me rush back to the studio today that I didn't do any giveaway this week. So remember, this week we will have to announce the Bible, announce the script Bible. I did announce this for the person has not responded. And this week instruction will be okay. Yes, I was noting some of the comments that were going, and so yeah, hey, there's a lot that was said in the comment section. we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Yeah, we'll definitely get to it. Okay, what was I saying here? Okay, so that one has been answered. So RSA VIP 18 is the instruction. Let me delete it here so that we don't have problems. Oh, no. Oh, snap. Guys, how many videos? I'm a bit confused now. Did I do 2 videos on Bushiri? I only remember one. Yes, on this one is this Bible here. But then there is the script Bible, which is this one. I can't see the instruction video. If anybody remembers it, they can tell me. But okay, I'm gonna put it. If you can remember which video it was, yeah, that would be highly. Ex-Bushiri. Was there another ex-Bushiri? Okay, ex-Bushiri. So on this one, let's do this Bible. Okay, only a person whose life wins. We'll scroll. If you happen to be there, random comment picker. Okay, I think there must be 2 videos. I must be making a mistake or something. Okay, so first YouTube comment, and let's paste that, include replies, and let's go. 100 and something, and the winner is Lutando. Lutando is here. I did see her. It has not stopped. Oh, no, it's Messi. Messi easy. Okay, my bad, Nutando. Not my bad. So the winner of this particular Bible is Messi. Messi easy. And so this is what I want. I want people who really do watch the videos to be the ones that win the Bibles. I'm tired of people winning Bibles and then the Bibles just stay here with me forever and ever and ever. Amen. Icon. There she is. There she is. So there she is. So that's that Bible. Leadership, please do send me a WhatsApp message. And with the WhatsApp message, send me which particular store is next to you. You can go Google it up and stuff like that. It's a very nice Bible. Unfortunately, at the moment, I'm not doing a good job at really filming the Bibles, but Jesus. He is tired. So do go online. Ask Messi. Go online, check your closest pep store, and send me a WhatsApp message of that pep store. There will be a number there. It will be P something something. So you tell me what store that is, and then I will then contact you also on that particular Bible. Okay. Now there is another video here. There are supposed to be 2 Bibles. Okay, the script Bible was not announced. Okay, I remember now. So what I need to check is, did I do 2 videos? Because remember, we had announced 2 videos last. 2 X Bushiri. Oh man, guys, do you remember which video it was? There was another one. Apart from this one with the money, okay? You guys can see which one it is. Yeah, apart from this one with the money, there was another one which I did on Bushiri. It can't be this one because this one I was at home. I couldn't have done. Did I do another video Bushiri here? Okay, if somebody remembers which Bible, on my side here, it only says ex Bushiri. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I made a mistake. I wrote it the wrong way. I think I wrote it while I was editing. Okay, let me just look to see if there's another thumbnail of Bushiri. Then I'll see. Oh my God, it's this one, right? It's this one. Yeah, definitely, it's this one. The lady who passed away. Oh man, that's the one with the script Bible. Yeah, and this happened exactly after she left. She left and then she went to Alpha, I think. The false prophets. Please leave the charlatans by themselves. Give them room. Give them room. So I announced the Bible, but where did I do it? Okay, yeah, so there it is. That is it there. And so the question is, did I leave instruction? Okay, RSA VIP 16. That's the instruction. RSA VIP 16. 16 for the script Bible. Script Bible is this one here. Can you believe I bought this Bible in January? Actually, I bought a lot of Bibles in January. And so, and also, when you do tell me about the Bible, do remind me which Bible it is. Ne? So, just want to know that. Okay, so let's go ahead. RSA VIP 17. Let's go. And then include replies and filter the comments. 126. And the winner on that particular one, RSA VIP 16. This person does not have it, but I don't think they are in South Africa. Ankiri, you are seeing the comments. Okay. And BB doesn't have it. Script, your way. You see, while you were still asking which Bible it is, it's Scribe, my bad. It's Scribe Bible. I still say Script Bible. What's wrong with me? You were asking, hey. Okay, a person who's here, she's not here. She left ECG in 2017. Yeah, no, this one is not, I don't think she even watches the channel. She was just there to correct. I do remember her comment very well. Good point. No, she's not in South Africa. And she's not here also. Miss Pearl is not here today. She's definitely not here, but she doesn't have the thing. It was a reply to someone, actually. And our Stella, she's here, but she's not in South Africa. Our Stella will never forgive me. She doesn't even have it in the comment section. Our Stella, where is she? She's here. I saw her just like a few minutes ago. There she is. Stella, I don't think it's fair. Ne? I think you are when you are in America, aren't you? Stella. But you don't even have the instruction here. Stella. Let's go on. Don't worry, by now I've given up on trying to go home. In that faith, when you appear at the studio now. Okay, Kosi doesn't have it. Also was there to correct. Okay, Miriam does have it, but I haven't seen her live. I haven't seen her today. Is she here? Miriam? No, I don't think she's here, guys. Miriam, if you are here, do highlight, please. We need to make sure you are here. This one is only, we are giving out Bibles only for people that are watching. We are tired of people. We are tired of people waiting and we stay with the Bibles for like 6 weeks because people don't even know. I don't think she's here. Oh, she's here. Leadership. You know what? I had seen the comment earlier on. But I was like, no, I don't think she's here anymore. Leadership, I'm glad you're here. So those are the two winners of the Bibles. So remember, immediately after, WhatsApp me and then tell me which Bible. So you remind me, Script Bible and so forth. So give it to me. I'm here. Helen, you want me to get in trouble with people's Bibles. And so next week, don't worry, there are Bibles for the whole year. I think in January, I just took everything I had and I bought Bibles. I think I went to I went 4 times to Kumbuk's and I bought Bibles like every single day. And I was coming back with Uber because I had so many Bibles. So I won't run out of Bibles now. I bought Bibles on special. They were on special. I was like, specially. Bibles from 900 came down to like 600-700. Bibles from 1,000 came down to like 800. So do contact me and then I'll send you those ones. I'm glad. This is how we're going to do it now. Only people that are live. We are tired of people winning and then the Bible just stay here. I have this apologetics Bible. It's been here since the winner won it last year. It doesn't. We're going to re-announce it next week. And so actually next week I must announce 2 other Bibles. So next week, 2 other Bibles on 1 week. Yes. Because remember this week again, I forgot to make a winner's thingy. These are the videos from 2 weeks ago. If you actually spot there, is that those videos are actually from 2 weeks ago. They are not from this. So Wellington, closing words, leadership. Let's go home. Let everybody go home, man. We had a wonderful discussion.
Can't they deliver food to you from the delivery guys?
No, they can't. Uber closes at 8 o'clock, somewhere there.
No, I mean like if the hot takeaway, normally they have their own deliveries. Here during lockdown, the food people were allowed to deliver food. about.
No, yeah, they closed by now. The only hope that I would have had was at 8 o'clock. There's a place which sells food outside, but those ones they are thingy. Stella, you didn't have it. Stella is here. She's saying, I'm here. You didn't have the instruction inside there. You're in Joburg. You must put the instruction there. You didn't have the instruction. Yeah. You're in something. Leadership. Don't worry. Don't worry, leadership. Don't worry. Next week, 2 Bibles.
And the other Bibles for those 2 ladies, don't forget.
We
promised them on that video, and then we must keep our promises.
Which, oh, you mean Jenny, right?
I've forgotten her name completely.
No, the thing that Jenny is gonna get, she's gonna get it. I'll let her when it gets here. We're gonna buy it on Amazon, so it hasn't arrived yet. So when it comes through, I will definitely alert her. So
and
that one,
there's 2 ladies, so I could buy the other Bible as well, so that they both get it.
Leadership. Let's just do this. When I buy the other Bible, and next week we do 3 Bibles. The other one will be international. So basically, I'll Google how you buy. What do you call it? There's a particular way that I'm actually thinking of doing. That's why I'm trying to get rid of all these Bibles. I want us to just do the, what is it called? A coupon. You can buy a coupon on Amazon, and then you just give the gift card to the person, and the person can go redeem it. So I think that's how we're gonna actually
send it to me, and then I'll do it from here. Nice.
Yeah, no problem. And actually, remember, we have the big giveaway, which is the 2,500 Brighton Bible. That's gonna be a big giveaway. That one. That's a huge one. I think when we hit 1,000 videos, I think we'll do it then. Or because on the 50,000 subscribers, I think we'll do the documentary. But then the 1,000 videos, we'll do that one. And so I'll look for the video, and then I'll send it to you on WhatsApp to say how you buy the coupon, and then we'll just get the code. But we'll have to watch videos. I tried to understand it last time, but I didn't. It confused me a little bit. So
I'll give time to do it. I remember let me do it, and then I'll let you know.
Thanks, man. No props.
Brilliant. The Lord give you strength without food. He's able.
Don't worry, leadership. Don't worry. These things we are not of those ones who perish with food.
No.
Stella, don't worry. I'll send you an email. When I have you an email, so don't worry, Stella. Don't worry, Stella. But Stella, you didn't have the instruction there. But Stella, it's almost as if Stella works for the Rick's reality show. The email she sends me like this in a line. Guys, let's leave it here. I'll talk to you guys thingy. So next week we're gonna do 3 Bibles. Okay. So Wellington is gonna do 1 Bible. Maybe on one video we'll do 2 giveaways, leadership. Maybe on one video we'll do 2 giveaways. But I'll keep you in contact after. No props. Thanks.
Yahweh bless.
Awesome. All right, guys. Let us go. Ne? Ndianibonga, me is blessed to have you guys here all the time. We have a Bible study regularly. Yeah. So someone is text me saying we have a Bible study regularly. Yeah. So it is a every Saturday's thing. So we talk about whatever subject, we get them coming. Once they are here, we deal with the word. So they come here for the subject. We've talked about the subject, but we get to the word. And so thank you guys. I will talk to you guys very soon, and I will alert you on that particular. So next week, look out for 3 particular giveaways that are going to be there on the channel. I'm going to do two Bibles. I do know that there was someone else who wanted to give another Bible. I can't remember who. but they had sent me an email. I'll look for that email. Untold Stories. Any closing remarks, leadership, before we go? Oh, you did close down, right? Didn't I?
Yeah, I did. But I just text you, privately. I wanted to say, you know what? We need more of Bible studies. We have about 52 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, in a year. So that means 52 lessons in a year. I don't think that it is enough.
It's enough. the only reason we are only doing 50 thingy, right, one per week, we just need a little bit more traction. I think it can harm the channel if let me show you so that you can have an algorithm reason. So that you can have an algorithm reason for why I only do one particular live stream a week. There is something called
maybe you must create another. Or maybe you must create another platform. You can just send the link to other people so that we will have more Bible study, because I don't think that this is enough. You know what is important, especially in this time? There is a lot that needs to be addressed. As much as we try to come on the show, because when I am speaking, maybe I've heard you, there are things maybe that I've heard that I need maybe to contribute to, add or subtract, but it's quite a lot, and we are quite many. And I think if I would love it, maybe if it can be on a daily basis, maybe an hour or so on a daily basis. Another person will get a chance maybe in a certain day or in a certain show. But believe me, the word, because on your show you are doing quite a lot. You understand, a lot of critics and a lot of jokes also. You understand. So if you can have maybe a show that maybe another channel, maybe that you are not really afraid that it will be closed down, that even if it will be closed down, you'll be remained with your main platform. I think that will be beneficial to us, because at times, there are other things also that I heard, like over the week that you were saying. I said, Ricky, you understand? I think, I wish if we were having a conversation. So we will be. So
this is the retention. Retention is how YouTube determines whether they should promote the video any further or any other video that comes after it. And so the retention on the live stream, it's not the best. It's 9 minutes. So which means a person might be watching 9 minutes, they go and do something. They watch 9 minutes, they go and do something. So what it does is that it keeps it at 9 minutes average, which is 3% of the video. And so in YouTube terms, that says we might not want to really push this video too far. Now, let me show you something else. Let me go back out. So I think at the moment we'll find another particular time where we can really maybe set another day. Let me just show you the last one here, then we can be gone, so that you can have hey, these algorithms are a problem, you like, for instance, let me give you this picture, this one here. Okay, and so this one here, okay, this one you'll see, this one is an 8-minute video, which is like your daily videos. Now this one has a 4 minutes 20 seconds thingy, and it's a little bit up. It means people watched 40 seconds more than they usually do. YouTube cares about that stuff, like like big time, because they say that is 50% of the video. So they see this video as a very good video. It means that okay, people probably like the video. They don't know what context the video is done, and they tell you where people drop off. So they give you all these graphs at the background so that you can know how much of of the content are people really taking in. If you go to reach here, it tells you how many people are clicking on that thumbnail. When they see that thumbnail, how many people are clicking. 8% of them are clicking. It got up to about 5,000 thingy. You can see the impressions are a little bit low down there, a little bit high. So this video can still be pushed further more, but 8% of them are thingy. So YouTube cares about this stuff. So at the moment, for it not to really affect the recommendations, I've seen recommendation drop for channels where they don't keep up to date with those type of things. So we'll find a way. We'll find a way. Definitely, I do know what you mean when you say one day is like not enough.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing. Let me put it that way. It's a little bit confusing because you're trying to learn from the whole Bible, within a shortest period possible.
Yeah.
But if we can have more interaction, maybe on a daily basis, the way you are doing your daily shows, we can follow you. And do you know what gives impact to your daily shows is because of the time frame that you take. So the time frame that you take on these ones, they're too long to a point that yes, a person will watch 30 minutes. Definitely data will be finished, and then that's where the graph will start to fall. But if we can tell each other that tomorrow, guys, we are meeting at such a time, and we are discussing on this, and then we limit those we limit that period of the video, I think most of the videos people will watch, because I think many people, they're already following your videos. But I think one thing also, if the video becomes long, it's maybe to people like us, maybe we can somehow trace down the whole video, but I think the majority won't be able to do so.
Yeah, no, we'll find a way. We'll definitely find it. But I definitely hear you there. Maybe I was thinking, maybe if you are saying daily, it would be that the time when I upload, that's when I go live. And so that way, if I'm publishing 2-3 videos, it does, because YouTube only gives three notifications. And so I'm using the maximum notifications. And so if I then do 3, I will have to then go live. So we'll grow into that. Because at the moment, if you spotted,
that's why I said maybe. That's why I'm saying you need to risk and just create another channel for Bible study, special for that. Yeah, because I think we need to grind more into certain things. I think it's there are a lot of things that you said this past week, and for us to touch them within the shortest period, no, we'll be lying to ourselves that we can touch all those things. Yeah, so I think at times, a topic. What does a topic does? Personally, I learned a lot from the video that we did when we quoted Hebrews chapter number 3 and Hebrews chapter number 4. I even confessed that now I understand even much better on the Shabbat, on the issue of the Sabbath and the 70-day Adventist. For many years I have been discussing the word with brothers, but it's somehow difficult, I have been taught about that, but it's somehow difficult, to address those things. But at that particular lesson, it was stressed to a point that, somebody can understand. So somehow, we touch here and there and try to come up with a lesson. But if we can dig deep, because the word is deep, it's not as shallow as at times we assume. The word is so deep, because a word can mean a lot. The way Hebrew was written, it one word can mean a lot of things. So those things, we need to look at it. We need to look at the way we interpret it. We need also to look at, the times also that we are living in. Is it appropriate? can we actually take that and put it into our own timing? So I'm suggesting, because you already have the followership, you just drop in the link, guys. Also subscribe there, and we will be doing some certain people. They'll click some notification bells when you are live. Will also follow and do the thing. I think besides having a good channel, equipping the saints is the most important thing. Making disciples is the most important things. Now, let's put our faith into action. Let's not just come to your platform and try to quote scriptures and try to know the word and try to understand God. Yeah, he's so complex. We may come to your show and not even understanding the God. So let's try to dwell there on a daily basis. Remember, blessed is the man who meditate on the law of the Lord day and night. Psalms chapter number 1. Day and night. So when we wait for 6 days for us to have another show again, there are a lot of things that we meet that that makes us not to meditate on that. So let's keep the rhythm going and see how beneficial it will be to our own lives. Thank you very much.
No props, man. Well,
Yes.
I'll grow into that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It took me no props. We'll talk next week, leadership.
Thank you.
It took me, there was something I was practicing for the last 6 months. You might not be aware of it. I was trying to practice having highly edited videos. Like, if you think my videos are edited, like highly edited, I'm talking about sound and whatnot. I even bought subscription for sound and all those things. So like, you listen to the music that we used to play last month, it's different from what we play now. And the sound, whatnot, all those things. Like really professional videos. And so those, if you listen to the video that I made over the last 3 days, I really did start to achieve that goal. And so I think it took the passing of Oscar for me to be that emotionally attached, for me to come up with that thing. And so, like, the storytelling aspect of the video. As a content creator, I take great joy when I'm like, yes, I did it. And so I only got there now. And so even today's videos, they are also highly edited a little bit here and there. And so now I will need to then grow into that one. But anyways, we'll get there. And so, guys, Papa Yini, ne? As Messi, and who is the other lady who won? Ask Miriam. Do remember to send me that WhatsApp thingy on the number, ne? So that's the number. Screenshot the whole hajjaz, but you can find it also in the comment, in the community section of the channel. I will see you next week. Don't worry. I will announce when we are thinking. Hey, Penene was here. What's up? Penene, guys. She does housework in some Arab country. And she does videos about it. Her channel is one of the most interesting conversations. You just go there, you just get in touch. Guys, me, I'm stuck in the studio. Can you guys go, please?